What is going on, NFL fans, and welcome back to another episode of The Way We See It. I'm Jeff Hartman, joined by Wesley Coleman, and we are going to have some fun on this episode. Wesley, what's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
Not much. There's nothing new to talk about in the NFL. We already talked about collusion and trades, and it's been pretty quiet. So we thought we'd have some fun with this episode. You ready to talk some movies?
This is not the JJP fireworks episode, right?
No.
Okay.
You ready to talk some football movies, man?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm excited for this one. I was just throwing around ideas with Wesley via text, and I was like, why don't we talk about our top 5 football movies? Now, let me preface all of this with something very simple. These are our favorites, meaning mine and Wesley's. You could be listening to this. You could be watching this on YouTube and saying, these guys are idiots. How could they not have this movie? There's a reason for it. Typically, it has to do with your own vision of the movie and what you maybe correlate that with at that time in your life, things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 to 1, our favorites, and then we're going to do some honorable mentions, and that's going to be the entire episode. So, Wesley, do you have your top 5 ready?
I do.
I do too.
And a few honorable mentions.
Okay. Is there any criteria that you looked for when you were thinking about the movies and you're like, okay, what movies do I put in the top 5? What was your criteria?
It's got to be freaking awesome.
Well, of course, yeah. But
I mean, for me, I'm going for like rewatchables, like movie that if it's on, I'm like, babe, cancel our plans. Like we're going to late lunch. We're going to lunch late today. It's on and I'm watching it.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny since everything's streaming, but like still, there's times where you're like, nah,
Yes.
I'm in.
All right. I'm going to give you the honors. What's your number 5?
Number 5 was tough because I had like, I knew from the beginning number 5 was one of 2 movies, and the other one wasn't going to make the list, and it was really, really tough for me. Number 5's The Program.
Same as me.
No, you're kidding.
I'm not
No
joking.
way.
5 is The Program for me as well. But go ahead and explain why you have a number 5.
Listen, it's one of those that like I thought a few years ago I was gonna go back and watch. I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna be good anymore. Still great.
It's still good.
We've got this is a movie that was so good that in the late 90s, idiot kids went and laid down in traffic and got ran over and killed because they wanted to be so badass like the guys in the movie.
Yeah.
We're dealing with steroids in football before there was steroids in football, before everybody knew, and like recruiting and your parents got you messed up, and alcoholism, and Halle Berry, like in prime young Halle Berry. It's just a great movie. It's
horrific injuries too, when the dude jacks up his knee and his like legs facing the wrong direction.
Are we showing our age here too? Is everybody like under 35? Go, what's the program?
Yeah, that's the thing though. This movie, like you said, lasts the test of time. I don't care.
1993. It's 32 years old.
Good God, don't say that stuff. But
Sorry.
Still, I mean, if you are a football fan and you're a young fan right now, and you're like, okay, I've never seen this movie. If you watch it, you'll enjoy it because it is enjoyable. I still laugh and we talk about the program. If someone fumbles a lot and they're having to carry a football around training camp, That's from the freaking movie. They made the freshmen carry a football around all the time. Okay. So the program is number 5. I could see some people having this higher on their list. I just think that's an awesome football movie. Like it's all based around football.
You go look at it and like who starred in the movie, and it's everybody who's like a face in the program playing football. Like it doesn't go all over the place with other things. It's a football movie.
Okay. All right. So we both have the same number 5.
That's hilarious. I can't believe that.
Number 4. What's your 4?
Number 4, maybe people would not go with it as a football movie first, but I do, and it's School Ties.
Oh, okay.
There's no way you had that number 4, right?
I don't have that on my list. No.
So, also movie from 1992. But Brendan Fraser. This is in peak Brendan Fraser. It's happening in 1955. Matt Damon, Chris O'Donnell are in it. Cole Hauser, Ben Affleck. Like a lot of these guys are in there before they're stars. Just a great movie about a guy being recruited to help a high school program win their state championship or win their title, and they recruit someone who would not normally be allowed into their school and tell him to be quiet about his past. I just love it. It's a great movie. Just enough football mixed in, but I'm a big fan of the program. You've seen School Ties?
I have only once, so that was not like I didn't see it and say, all right, I'm gonna want to say that. Didn't even make my honorable mention, to be honest with you. So that's fine though. This is your list.
So you've got a different number 4. We get to veer off. Where's your number 4 at? Can't hear you.
All right, so my number 4, a lot of people again might have this a little bit higher. I went with Friday Night Lights, the movie. Now, did that make your list before we go?
It's my number 3.
Okay, all right, it's your number 3. So Friday Night
And
Lights.
I've never watched 1 minute of the TV show.
The TV show is good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a soap opera, but it's a good show. I'm not gonna lie.
And I live in Texas, so this is.
Yeah, the Permian Panthers,
yes.
And I mean, it's. I've never read the book. That's something I do want to do, is because this was based off of the book. The character of Boobie Miles. I am someone who memorizes lines in movies, and so they become part of my everyday vernacular. I don't know how many times I've been watching football or just walking around the house saying, "You want to win? Put Boobie in. Let me spin, coach." Like, it's just such a good movie. It's very authentic. I had someone tell me once it was difficult for them to watch this movie. The cinematography does kind of move around a lot, and they almost got like motion sickness. And the soundtrack with it is perfect. It's raw. It's emotional. It doesn't have the storybook ending, which I think is sometimes refreshing, to not have things always work out the way that they should, or maybe you want. So I went with Friday Night Lights as 4. I'll let you go ahead and talk about that as your 3rd.
So I just think that with Friday Night Lights, you have to, for a top 5 list, you've got to either choose, is Friday Night Lights or Varsity Blues better? Now, Varsity Blues may still be on yours, but they're both they're both Texas football movies. I went with Friday Night Lights. Obviously, you have Varsity Blues even higher.
Yeah.
So I think for me, Friday Night Lights is the better one. I rank it higher because of Billy Bob Thornton as the coach.
Yep.
He's just the better coach. Varsity Blues, and we'll get to it. I love the lines. I mean, I'm all about the lines from it. I agree with you. It's got that, but Billy Bob as the coach, and honestly, Tim McGraw as the jackass drunk dad is amazing. And I just think that again, we'll get to Varsity Blues. I just think the jackass drunk dad in it is a little comical, and Tim McGraw just murders it in his little scenes where he's doing that. So I love Friday Night Lights. And honestly, I'd never watched the show because the movie's just great to me, and I just didn't want to sour it.
Friday Night Lights compared to Varsity Blues, it's almost like real life versus a comic. Like, the comic is Varsity Blues. Yes, there's reality with it, but it's definitely an MTV style movie, which was actually done by MTV. Friday Night Lights is authentic in every way. But
is Varsity Blues your 3? Like, are we going right into your?
Not my 3.
No, it's not your 3.
Don't crap on John Voight though.
Okay, no,
Bud Kilmer was a phenomenal character. He was. Who cares about Bud Kilmer's next district title? I do. All right, let's go to your 3. So I got to go to my 3 because you just did your 3 with Friday Night Lights. I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to go with Rudy. Rudy is 3 for me. And
not on my list.
Really?
No, never.
Wow.
Because it's not on my list because I'm not 13 anymore. Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time, and he has let us know this whole story is crap. They all hated him. Nobody would have put their jersey on any coach. The best scene is completely fake. They didn't even like him. They carried him off the field as a joke, not because he played great. It was to mock him because they hated him. I'm not in. Hey, when I was 13, I'm in. Let's make the list. It's number 1. I'm an adult.
I still have it as 3 because it still gives me. I still get goosebumps when I watch it. I know Montana debunked this, and he wasn't the only Notre Dame player to do so. But you know what? I'm just gonna put my earmuffs on. I'm definitely gonna pull an old school and just pull in earmuffs and say I'm just gonna watch this movie for it being a movie and not being a part of real life. And it's a again, the story of it, and you love the underdog. I always root for the underdog. And I'm a guy that grew up idolizing Rocky Balboa in the Rocky movies, so I love that underdog story. I got Rudy as 3. I totally understand your standpoint, and I could have probably bumped it down a little bit, but I've got Rudy as 3. So let's go to number 2.
My number 2 is Remember the Titans.
Damn, same with me.
Wow. No, it's just I mean, it's almost like a perfect movie. It's great. You get the camp where they go off and they've got to get it together. You've got Sunshine coming in, throwing bombs. The coaches figuring out how to work together. You've got the evil. You got serious Billy Bob, Ethan Suplee playing, being serious Billy Bob that can sing and dance, but
Yeah.
but knows when it's time to turn it on. Just also like young Hayden Panettiere, growing up and teaching everybody, knowing real football, being the best coach maybe in the movie, but just great movie.
Yeah, and I mean, it has a lot of young actors in this. It actually went on to get a lot of fame and fortune in other movies, but they were very young. I mean, I know the running back that fumbles the ball all the time, Petey. He was a main character in Scrubs, obviously.
How about no Opie? You got Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
Who's that?
Gary Bertier goes on to be Opie.
I never watched Sons
with
of
like
Anarchy.
the most brutal murder in the history of television, getting beaten over the head with a bat in a prison cell.
Yeah. Well, then what's his face from The Notebook and a bunch of movies was the boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was when he was nobody.
What is his name? I'm drawing a
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling is the young defensive back who gets benched for Petey to go in at cornerback.
He gets a shot at redemption though.
And that's his dad's yelling in the stands, "Take my boy out, Yost!"
Everybody, all of them have like the crazy, the parent that just sucks.
It's 2 on my list. Like you said, it's like the perfect story. T.C. Williams High School, which is in Virginia. I will say that someone that has been to Gettysburg many times, the scene, like wherever they were in L.A. and they tried to duplicate what Gettysburg would look like, it does not look like that. Just so you know. Horrible job. At least look up a picture of what Gettysburg might look like. But nonetheless, I think Denzel Washington is awesome in that movie, and there's so many ups and downs. And yes, could it be predictable? Everything up to Gary Bertier's accident, if you didn't know that story, is predictable. Yep. That is true though. Phenomenal stuff. Love that movie. That's number 2 for both of us. So I'm curious where you go for number 1.
I go to the real Rudy, man. The true honest version of Rudy. Invincible. You got Vince Papali, the bartender.
He's like honorable mention for me.
He's like 5'3.5". Yeah. He goes up, he embarrasses the Cowboys, which that's great. That that's like that could have been a movie all by itself. No, man, Invincible was fun. Like that's a movie. It ends up doesn't seem like it's an hour and 45 minutes. It's a quick watch. There's always something going on. You get the hot girl that comes in. You get the emotional stuff of what's going on with the kids. You get Dick Vermeil, knowing that he's going to cry for the rest of his career in every press conference and all. It's just I don't know. I like Invincible. I've throwing it up there as number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Hey, that's fine. Number 1, Invincible. Like I said, it made my honorable mention, but I did not have it in my top 5. My number 1 is Varsity Blues. Yeah. I saw this movie for the first time when I was in high
your
school.
Opinion, is it a 10?
It's a 10.
Is it a 10?
10. Yeah, for sure. I saw it in high school. I got the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. When I went to college, my fraternity, before we went out and partied on the weekend, we would watch this movie like every Friday night. I mean, that's where I said it when I prefaced this whole discussion about these movies. You associate movies with a time in your life. That time in my life was awesome. Like it was just fun. Like I didn't have the responsibilities that I have now of a family and job and stuff. It was just fun. And that's all that movie is, folks. If you've never seen Varsity Blues, if you're listening to this, watching this, if you watch it, it is not real life. If you want to watch real life, go watch Friday Night Lights. Yep. This is just fun Texas football. You got the whipped cream bikini. You got Johnny Moxon and Kilmer's Coyotes and Lance Harbor. Rest in peace to the actor that played Lance Harbor. But I mean, I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
I quote that movie all the time. It's unbelievable.
I just had to choose between it or Friday Night Lights for it because I'm live in Texas. They're both being Texas football. I just had to choose one or the other.
Okay, so real quick, run down your 5 to 1 top 5.
So we've got The Program, School Ties, number 3, Friday Night Lights, number 2, Remember the Titans, and number 1, Invincible.
All right. So I have the program 5, Friday Night Lights 4, Rudy, yes, 3, 2, Remember the Titans, and number 1, Varsity Blues. So let's do some honorable mention. Let's give the tip of the cap to
Well,
some.
first of all,
What?
like but not an honorable mention. We can both admit that we just didn't want to be controversial, but Draft Day is the best football movie ever made.
Ah, God, it is good. It is good.
Listen,
I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but it is good.
All the stuff about how crazy it is and inaccurate, none of that would happen, went out the door when the Mavericks traded Luka and got the number 1 pick. Anything's possible now in draft movies. So it's all that was the one thing holding it back, is that none of it makes sense. Now it does. Now it all makes sense. Like it's.
But no, I've watched Draft Day, and outside
I watch that movie every year.
Outside of it being at the Browns, Kevin Costner is my favorite actor of all time. By far, my favorite actor of all time. I love
Waterworld is not a bad movie. The Postman is not a bad movie.
Talking
They're
about
both
sports
watchable.
movies, predominantly sports movies, and Yellowstone. And even some of his work in the Western realm, which I do like Westerns and stuff. I love Kevin Costner. When he was in, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot.
Can we spend a minute on For Love of the Game? Like, is it just completely inappropriate in this football podcast?
It's sports movies, and it's freaking summer. Nothing's
going on.
It's
just a great movie.
My brother saw that movie and says that's a chick flick. I'm like, okay, there's love involved in it, but that's a freaking baseball movie, man. When he's pitching the perfect game, and you got Vin Scully in the movie on the call, and he's like, can he have one last trip around the sun? It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm a baseball guy at heart, man. So like I could talk about all those.
Next time we're gonna go out there and we're gonna work that wall together. Don't let them make a joke out of you.
Exactly.
It's just.
And Field of Dreams? Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
This isn't baseball. We're talking football. Okay, so let's go.
Neither one of us with Jerry Maguire.
I have him as an honorable mention.
I got close on it. Like I could definitely throw it in there.
But is that like at least Draft Day is all structured around football? It's all about the draft. Yes, there is the love issue with he and the person that works in the front office of the Cleveland Browns. But man, like Jerry Maguire is, to me, it's a love story with the caveat of football.
I think and I agree. And because listen, if You Had Me at Hello didn't just barely beat out Show Me the Money. I mean, if it's the greatest line from it, or the most famous line from it, is the love line, not the Show Me the Money line. But it did show us a different side of sports movies when you got into the negotiation and the agent side, which again, until years later when we got the Rock show on HBO, like you didn't really ever get a sense of that. It just gave us a better view of it.
True.
So I really enjoyed that.
So I have Jerry Maguire as an honorable mention. I'm also going to throw out another honorable mention because I had Draft Day as well, is We Are Marshall. Now, I am from the state of West Virginia. An aunt of mine who's since passed away, she was at Marshall, graduated from Marshall when this happened, and she spoke often about the plane crash, which took almost the entire team and coaching staff away, and the rebuilding process. I am also a Matthew McConaughey fan. I like his books. I think I like him as an individual. I have We Are Marshall on there because even though it's not all about football, there's definitely a human element in that movie. But as that town of Huntington, West Virginia tries to recover. But are you a fan of that movie? I'm sure you've seen it.
Never watched it.
What?
It came out at a time.
Watch it.
It came out in a time where I was young and like I knew what happened, and I was like, yeah, that's not interesting. So I liked scary movies. Now, don't get me wrong. Now as an adult, like I love like emotional movies and something like gets that where it's gonna be tragic. Like A Star Is Born is just, I love the impact of that movie. So I mean, I maybe need to go back and revisit it.
Watch it
now,
as an
but
adult.
never actually watched it.
It's actually really good. It's really good, and the story of like them coming away from that accident is pretty spot on. It's pretty spot on. So what else? What else do you have honorable mention?
So my one that I started with, I said either the program or another movie was going to be number 5. It was the first decision that I made. One of them was going to be number 5, and I still don't know if I did it right, but I think I did. Me and you hit the program. But the other one's The Last Boy Scout. That
gets forgotten.
Listen, it's football and an undercover detective or private detective.
Yeah.
It's Die Hard on a horseback on a football field. Are you kidding me? Like, it's just a great movie, fun watch. Still can be a fun watch. I watched it Probably hadn't seen it in 15 or 20 years until maybe a year ago. I watched it again. Still a fun movie.
Still
You
holds
get
up.
Bruce Willis in the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
It's
I did not even think about that one, but that is a good movie. Deserves honorable mention for sure. I'm going to go down nostalgia path for me. Like there are certain movies from my childhood that I will always cherish them.
Oh, we might be thinking of the same one here then.
If you're thinking of Fumblerooski and the annexation of Puerto Rico, which is the Little Giants,
No.
then we're not
I
on the same.
was thinking of Debbie Does Dallas. So no, it sounded like we were thinking about the same.
No, not well, it's Little Giants, dude. Disney movie. Oh my gosh! But Little Giants, to keep us back on track, Rick Moranis, who was the king of movies in the 1990s, and
He's coming back.
he is, and they're coming back with Spaceballs 2 is coming out in 2027, and
Dark Helmet.
But Little Giants, you got Ed O'Neill, young Ed O'Neill, who don't know his story. Is he had an NFL career with the Steelers for a brief time.
Yep.
I love that movie. You got cameos by Emmitt Smith and Bruce Smith and all these. I think Michael Irvin might have. No, I don't think Michael Irvin was in it. But John Madden's there, like when the bus stops.
That's the longest yard with Michael Irvin, right?
Yeah, that's on my honorable mention too. That one, not the Adam Sandler one.
Yep.
So,
did you have the Blind Side on there?
I never.
I didn't.
Crazy.
I just didn't know.
Wasn't
there's
crazy.
there's so much controversy now about what really happened.
There's only one other movie that I haven't mentioned that I have on my honorable mentions, and that's The Waterboy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
it's just great.
Bobby Boucher.
I mean, again, it's depending on where you fall. Like if you're talking about just classic, fun, funny, does it go too far to be mentioned where you had mentioned Varsity Blues? But it's just a great movie.
But it's not supposed to be serious.
It's not. No, it hits.
Like, it's never. No one ever says yes. The Waterboy is supposed to be like The Blind Side. Like you said, what happened, what didn't happen. There are all those lawsuits about how that guy was treated. That's not the case in The Waterboy. It's just a comedy. So
did you get close on like Radio or Concussion?
I didn't. I have never seen Concussion. If I'm being honest, I have seen Radio. Radio was good.
Did you see American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story?
No, I never did see that. Was it any good?
Yeah, I mean it definitely leans into his faith and Christian belief and all, but doesn't overdo it at all to where it makes it like not a good movie. I actually like the movie. It's a good one. It really focuses on the football a lot and what he went through, and I think it's very genuine to the story. And I mean, I remember again talking about Dick Vermeil, him sobbing, crying when Trent Green blew out his knee, thinking that their potential Super Bowl team had just been torn apart and had no chance. And then Kurt Warner, comes up to be an all-time great. I mean, but this is a guy who couldn't get any kind of contract, tried out at multiple teams, and was playing in the Arena Football League when the Arena Football League was worse than what the XFL is now. Like it's a really remarkable story, and I think they do a good job of telling it and like telling the real story. So it's another real Rudy.
Now, there's two movies that no one brought up, not as honorable mentions or on their top 5 that I'm shocked. No one brought up Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
And The Replacements. Now, Brian Davis from Fans for Sports Network and the Steel Curtain Network would flip out because I didn't mention The Replacements. He loves that movie. I just never saw Keanu Reeves. That never really correlated with me.
Yeah, me either.
Any Given Sunday is good. Probably deserves a nod on the honorable mention, but it's not cracking my top 5.
Yep.
I don't buy original Al Pacino.
Right. I was not a big Any Given Sunday. Like, I don't know. I didn't. It was. I think it was too early for Jamie Foxx to be that role. Now it's like pretty accurate with just being a complete diva superstar that lets you know he's better than everybody.
True.
But yeah.
Did we miss any others that you have on your honorable mention?
No, I think we've hit everything. I mean, if you're talking about the original Waterboys, Necessary Roughness, ahead of its time, got a female playing on the
Kathy
football
Ireland,
team.
not just any female. She was a smoke show back in the day, man.
Yep.
Sinbad was on that team. Wasn't Scott Bakula the quarterback?
He was.
Of Quantum Leap fame.
Quantum Leap.
I'm dating myself.
Yep. No, this is fun. I'm still think it's funny that me and you both had the program at number 5.
I can't believe
awesome.
You said Debbie Does Dallas on a podcast, but yet here we are.
Oh, is that, I thought you were leading me down that road. something that meant a lot to my youth. I was growing up. I really revisited it a lot of times. I still think about it to this day. Like I was Little Giants, of course.
Yeah, of course. Connect A to B. All right, man. This has been a good show. Next week, maybe we'll do all-time sports movies. Well, not football. Well, maybe we'll talk baseball movies.
Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. All right. It's a football podcast. Who the hell cares? We'll do whatever we want. So why don't you tell us what's coming up on the Dome Patrol podcast? You guys doing anything?
Well, yeah, more nonsense like this. Just same sort of thing. Just all the time. We got another 2 or 3 weeks of there's no news, nothing to talk about, and we can speculate on we can rank the top 25 players on the team, and we only got like 7 good ones, so that's pretty stupid. No, just you can find me on X at WhoDatWesley13. You can find us on the Dome Patrol podcast at Dome Patrol PCast on X, and on all your streaming services. Did you see that the NFL somebody put out a thing today saying that DK looks good in black and yellow? Did you see that?
No. I for those watching, I have the rubber ducky. I put it here in the background for you.
It matches perfect. I couldn't even see it just blend in there. Yep, this disappears.
It's actually accurate. Like it actually is accurate.
It really is.
That's scary accurate. But
I'm glad we solved this. Where can we find you and your rubber ducky, Kevin?
My color palettes are always out there. So you can find me on Twitter at jhartman, HARTMAN_PIT. Find me at Steel Curtain Network, wherever you get your podcasts, or steelcurtainnetwork.com. All right, man, that's a wrap. Thanks for your time, man. We'll talk next week on another episode of The Way We See It. Take it easy.
Don't break a golf club tomorrow.
Try not to. See ya.